Hey there, Aries. This is Chronic Joy Tarot, and this is going to be your June 2018 reading for Sun, Moon, and Rising sign of Aries, or anyone who happens to come upon this video. You were drawn to it, and this is your reading. Feels like it's been forever, and it kind of has. Thank you for being back here with me. It's been just such an intense and busy and crazy time. I can't even begin to describe, but thank you for sticking it out and hanging out with me here while we do your late, June reading. Really, it's the current energies that are happening right now. I'm going to, let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to use the Flying Bird spread this time. And if you're new to my channel, then just know that we pull an oracle card to give us guidance on the aspect of your soul to focus on in order to achieve some expansion and growth. This is totally about your inner self, and as it relates to growing as a human, in the outer ways. But it all starts within you, okay? The oracle deck that I'm using is Soul Coaching by Denise Lynn. It's a new deck I got, love it. And your card, Aries, is exciting. This is an exciting one. It's Breakthrough. This is telling us that what you've been working on, within or without, if it's an outward goal or if it's an aspect of yourself that you've been working on to develop and shift, that for even up till the past several years or so, even if it's been a long-term thing, you are about to feel a release in that, like a real shift, a real change, a breakthrough of sorts. Okay. If there's something that you're wanting to release or change or ascend to or shift in your life, this is the time to put real focus on it, because you have the energy and the power behind you to really manifest whatever it is that you want to make come through. In manifesting, I don't mean I want a brand new car, so that's what I want to manifest. It's not about the material as far as the way I read. It's about your own soul and the new level of awareness that you're reaching. If we stop growing in that way, then we're not really living. So this is about your soul's journey and the path and the growth. Okay? The Zen Tarot deck is for clarification on the topic of breakthrough. You're on the edge, so let's see if it talks about really pushing through and like jumping off that cliff per se. Well, look at that. So your starting point here is receptivity. So in order to continue on achieving this breakthrough that you're looking for, your starting point needs to be an open, receptive heart, mind, and spirit. Just very, very, see the lotus, her head became the lotus flower, just as highly aware and open. Every single petal is reaching and receiving, and see the strings of light that are just shining through and beyond her. So stay open right now. This isn't a time to constrict and protect your heart and your inner being. It's a time to stay firm, stand in your equanimity, know that your journey is happening in perfection. Even the scary things, even the negative things are happening for your growth, and stay open in that knowledge, right? So keep that level of equanimity underneath and find that inner peace, and then just wait and, open up and receive whatever it is that comes along to help you move forward toward your goal, towards your new shift, your new level. Okay, internally, you may feel tripped up, and you may not feel like some of the choices you're making are falling within the right side of things. Okay, so let's talk about morality here. There's an intrinsic sense of right and wrong, right? And that we all have, because deep inside we're loving beings. So if we're coming from a space of love, we're on the right side of it, right? If we're coming from a space of fear or constriction, we're not going to be guided to our highest good, right? That's the only good or bad, right or wrong that we want to really focus on. The external things, now, of course, as a human in society, we need to follow laws, we need to follow rules, we need to treat each other well, but there is no one right way to get to your goals, right? You might have an idea of what you want to achieve and how you want to shift. Let's just say, I'm going to say that maybe you have a tendency to overwork. You're an overachiever and you work very hard and you tire yourself out. And one of your goals that you're trying to achieve and you're trying to make a change about in your life is to balance work, home, play, balance this stuff out, temper down the mad achievement work energy and stop and, be able to have some fun. Well, there is no timeline for that. This is an intention that you set, right? You don't have to beat yourself up every time you have, a 14-hour day and you work your butt off or whatever, right? There isn't a wrong scenario there. This is all a learning experience. And what helps the most is when you do stay open and you realize that this moment in time, even this week or this month in time, or even, this 6 months or a year, is a blink of an eye compared to the lifelong journey that you're set upon to grow and expand while you're here on this planet. So don't beat yourself up. Don't tell yourself those mental, those internal judgments. Don't be mean to yourself. I mean, you're making an effort. You're ready to make some shifts, make some changes, and every time you acknowledge that and make a little change, you're succeeding, right? Okay. I know I have to be a little broad here, but for every individual, this breakthrough and this goal and this aspiration to make a change is different. It's different for every one of us, okay? In your external world, as it relates to this internal sort of battle of feeling, there's a right or a wrong way to go about this, is the Fool card. So Spirit's asking you to forgive yourself for these thoughts of, I'm not doing it fast enough, or I'm not there yet, and I keep forgetting to work less, and you beat yourself up. And Spirit's asking you to just stay open. Don't worry about those moments when you do kind of, tell yourself, could have done better. Don't worry about those moments, and really just see every day and every attempt at making these shifts for you as a fresh start. Every time it's a fresh start. Here I go for the next, the next lesson. Here I go for the next level of awareness. If this breakthrough happens to be with another, I don't know why that just came. Some of you, it might be a relationship and you're struggling in some areas. Maybe there's a different idea of what the commitment level is. Maybe there's a different idea of where to live, what home to have, just whatever the relationship. Because anytime we involve another, there's, compromise has to come into play, usually. So just remember to stay true to your own, your most important desires, and then find the wiggle room to go ahead and shift, with this other person and find ways to compromise if need be. If this is not having to do with any other person, then this is your own journey. You have control over the intensity, the pace, the length of time it takes for you to make these shifts and have this breakthrough come about. This is all yours to own. And there is no need to, like I said, be mean to yourself and tell yourself you're not moving fast enough, or you didn't, I don't know, you didn't say that right to that person, or whatever. I don't know if maybe one of your goals is to have a more positive, kind heart toward others and try not to impose your judgments, on another. Maybe that's one of your goals. It's hard. I remember being a younger woman, and those thoughts that would cross my head would be much more along the lines of sort of categorizing my experiences. This is good. This is bad. This is, whatever. They're wearing the right thing. They're not wearing the right thing. Whatever. Very, very superficial as a young girl. And then as time went on, I became more aware that judgment and those sort of labels that I was placing on my experiences were very constricting. They were holding me down, holding me back from really experiencing the variety that life has to offer, and really the beauty that differences can show us, right? Okay. Next card. This is also an internal energy, the creator. So know in this, I think I just may have said this. It's so funny how that happens, but know that this is all yours. It's all yours to own, yours to control, yours to create. Your path is where your power is. This third chakra here is lit up, like on fire, and you have the choice, and the every decision is yours. And even if it is involving another person, like we talked about before, you still have the choice to either, engage in a battle, or just rest for a minute and just kind of let it ride out, let it play out and see what comes. Stay open and see what comes, right? We don't always have to dig in and engage and get into that tug of war with others. Sometimes it's okay to just let go of the rope and let things, settle into, and look for the next sign or that next little guidepost that Spirit is always showing us. Okay, so knowing that power, knowing that this journey, this intention that you've set, this change that you want to make, or this topic that you want to master, or whatever it is for you that you've been working on and that you've been setting intentions on, it is yours. You have the power in every step. And if it feels stalled in a minute, that's okay. That's also part of your lesson, right? To learn how to have some patience, stay open. In your external world, I pulled this mind card. So in direct response to this card of the creator, I pulled guilt. So I'm feeling that for some of you, it's possible that you're not used to, or those in your world are not used to this level of self-empowerment that you're wanting to achieve, or that you're practicing. Others may not be used to that, and it might change certain relationships. It might change the way you relate to others, and it might shift their view of you, which might lead to you feeling a little guilty. Oh, maybe I took on too much power. Maybe I'm, being too selfish or whatever. But please don't, because if you look above that, look at these crusty little claws grabbing at her head, but then look above. Just release some of that. Release some of the dark clouds, and you've got an easier road beyond that. It's sometimes these transitions, if you set an intention, I'm going to shift the way. I'm going to speak up for myself more now. Maybe that's your intention. I'm going to speak up for myself more now, and I'm going to hold a quiet, equanimity and power within me and operate that way, and then let people know when they're crossing my boundaries in a loving, firm, and gentle way. Maybe that creates some guilt in your relationships. Maybe others aren't used to you like that, and they don't know what to do with it. But let that pass. Just let that be. Don't revert back. You're going forward. You're ascending. You're expanding, and don't revert back. Continue on towards your goal. continue on, continue to travel. Look at that next card. Move along it. If you look at this card, it's really kind of, there's sort of a destination feeling to it, as if, you're in, there's these, peaks and valleys, and then there's fog and setting way down in that valley, but there's sunlight ahead, right? And if you look at life as like that entire journey, there's always around that next bend or up above that next peak, there's always going to be the next good thing, right? We do have moments where we're down and we're in that valley and we're buried in the fog and we can't figure out what way to go next. But the big picture tells us we're always headed there, right? So give yourself that permission to take all of this towards your change and your breakthrough. Take it as at your own pace, whatever that is. Take time to pause, take time to reflect, stay receptive, stay open, and see what your possible next decisions are, and then make the next one. This whole reading, this whole spread, the whole concept of staying receptive and learning to trust your gut and learning to start every new venture with a fresh set of eyes and a fresh energy, as if starting at square one. And releasing others' hold on you as far as the guilt that goes through your mind. That whole experience could be the breakthrough itself, because this is maybe a new way of doing things for some of you, right? And the outcome, the apex of this reading in your external world, the shifts that you will notice, I love how these turn out, is the completion card. So this is... Now notice this puzzle piece, this figure is made of puzzle pieces, and the last piece to go into place is where the third eye is. So you're going to bring yourself to a new sense of awareness, maybe new levels of intuition that you haven't experienced before. You'll realize at some point that you've put a certain phase behind you. The breakthrough is coming, the shift is coming, and you will know that you can put a certain chapter behind you and start over and move on, start again, being receptive and open, and don't worry about how it looks or feels. The right and wrong doesn't matter as much as just taking that step, right? And keeping your self-empowerment intact within, that you move according to what you feel. You move and you make decisions according to what is right for you, right? Others can adjust to that, and they may learn by your example. Don't worry about being guilty because you're different now. And then know that, the whole journey is what it's about. It isn't about this very moment. This doesn't feel good. I'm going to be stuck here for a long time. It's just not. Expand your thinking, right? It could be, this whole reading could be a cycle that repeats on and on in your life about different subjects with different people, with different aspects of yourself. It's just a sort of a game plan, a lesson plan to progress and ascend and, expand your soul. Okay, Aries, thank you for being here with me, and I love you guys very much. Find me on Instagram if you can. I'm there doing some shorter videos as often as I can. And I love you. I'll see you next time. Bye.